And it's because he taught me things that no one else has taught me. And I find that to be a beautiful thing. And one of the things he taught me was Christian liberties.
Yes.
And I was being one of those Christians that was taking liberties. And so it was another one of those that went right, the electric bolt went right to my heart. That
We're about to run the intro.
Okay.
Just hold that thought for just a moment. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Guys!
All the noise.
Guys, come on. I'm trying to start my show. Guys! Guys, no, come on. Stop! All right, that's it. I'm starting the show.
Damn it.
Ugh. This show is not for kids. This show is about chaos and talking over coffee. So let's get going. Call me the DarkTranny. All right, good morning on a Friday. Welcome to the show. During the pre-show, we were playing some, not all the way through the pre-show, but we were playing DJ Based, his, I think it's drums and bass session from September 15th. So for those people who don't know DJ Based, I'm going to drop the linky right here so you can get to know him a little bit better. During the pre-show as well, Callygirl was speaking of Christian liberty. Would you like to continue on that topic, Callygirl?
Am I? Oh yeah, my mic's on. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not the expert on it, and really, the first I heard about it was from Pastor Chatelet, and it's where as a Christian, so I'm still just kind of learning about it. Actually, like when he said it, I was like, I had to kind of sit back because I was doing that to my best friend, and we actually had stopped talking because I had called her up and I go, well, the Jews call us goy, and the Muslims call us infidels. I said, well, maybe as Christians just need to call everybody a Satanist that's not a Christian. And she said, well, Jesus wouldn't want that. And she was right, but I couldn't hear her, and I got mad at her for
How long
throwing
ago
Jesus.
was this?
This was a few months ago. I got
Just a
mad at
few months ago, really?
Yeah, I got mad at her because she doesn't she doesn't say she is a Christian. She is a Christian. I know she is. But she won't say I accept Jesus in my heart.
Well,
But I don't need her to do that. I don't need her. Pastor Chatelet taught me that I'm taking Christian liberties with her.
it's
And
what he does a really good talk on that, on those topics. He also gets into Christian legalism, like using the Bible as a weapon and bludgeoning people
yeah,
with Jesus Christ. It's like Jesus Christ
yeah.
is not to be used as a weapon, not like that.
Yes, yes. And so I was taking Christian liberties with her, and I didn't realize. And now, well, and my dog passed away and whatever, so we haven't really been talking. And she's not a friend that I talk to all the time. We don't live close to each other, but
Mm-hmm.
she's someone that's always been there for me over the last hard 10 years. And she was with me through all the doctor medications that were prescribed and all the stuff that I went through with all that shit. So yeah, I need to mend a fence with her. So, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.
Good, because
Yeah,
friendships are few and far between. You can have a lot of
yeah,
acquaintances, but
yeah,
real friends,
yes,
they're
yeah,
very valuable. Do I
yeah.
want to play the medical glory hole? Do I really want to play this?
Oh, that's funny. That's a good
Should
way
I
to
play
start the
the
show.
medical glory hole?
I think it's funny. Watch the guy's face.
Okay, well, I'm going to be playing it through Jitsi, so here we go. Okay, now we're not joking about testicular cancer or any kind of cancer or anything like that, but the joke is in this. You're going to be out in public at a testicular screen kiosk, and what's to stop some, I don't know, Instagram or TikTok influencer from ripping, or someone who thinks that they're an influencer, like fling that curtain open, and the next thing you know, you're like on full display for everyone. It's like you can already see the person's face, like through that clear part, and he looked like he might have been enjoying himself a little bit. Let's take a look see. Did he look like he was enjoying
I
himself a
just
little bit?
everybody was happy in that video,
Everybody's very
and
happy.
yeah, I love the Vans, the slip-on Vans.
And everything's a crotch shot. Okay, and then we have this. Oh, sweet release. I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, um, who knows who's in that booth? I mean, really, it's like this is not a face to face thing. Is this where we want to go as a society? Where we can't even face our medical practitioners? And then what's next? You know, like the walk up prostate check and like the walk up, pap smear, like you get like you start, it's like a roller coaster. It's like you get on the table and the table is on rails. And you're in the
This is
stirrups.
idiocracy.
It is. It's like, and then the cart like will slide over to the exam area because what are you gonna do in this case? It's like, I mean, what would the curtain look like? It would have to be a very large curtain to accommodate the table, and then of course you need to get on the table, and it's like, are you gonna come in side saddle? Or are you gonna come in from the front, or like whatever? And then an arm comes out and stuff. And what was the other examination? It's like the prostate, the pap, the testicular check. It's like
Breast.
breasts next. Just get like a kiosk with like put your breasts through the hole.
I
It's
mean,
like
they could do your throat test too. They could go up and check your adenoids and
that's what I want. I want to go to some anonymous individual in a box and have them, do. I mean, what? I don't want that kind of. It's just it's so impersonal.
I mean,
It's
what's a doctor doing in that box too?
who
I
knows
mean,
if
he's
it's
in
even a
private
doctor.
job.
It could be somebody from the fucking food court who just like snuck in. I mean, we've got freaks out there. They're letting drag queens into children's areas and naming the drag queen like, Annie Christ and stuff like that. It's like you don't know who the fuck is in that box trying to
I don't
fondle
know,
you
but
and
he
stuff.
sure looks happy to be there.
He looks very happy to be there. I'm not so much on board with this. I'm not so much on board with, I mean, where's HIPAA? It's like the privacy is completely gone. It's like maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe this is just a no.
No,
They're saying
it's
that they're going to
McDonald's.
tour.
It's
They're
McDonald's. It's McDonald's for testicular cancer checks. It's one doctor all day long in that little room grabbing guys' balls for I don't know how much to get paid for to test a person for that. It's money. It's how we're gonna make our money. It's
the
how
testing
I'm
at
as a doctor who spent 200 grand or whatever to go to medical school. I am going to buy me one of these booths and I'm going to be a vending machine now.
well, you do that. Oh, and by the way, we are archivists, so we're archiving right now. So fuck you, YouTube.
This is for educational purposes. It's
For adults
protected.
only.
It's protected. I don't know if we have to say this to you guys every time. We do not consent to
I
this
don't
experiment.
consent.
Every day, just assume.
Just yes, that we're archivists and this is what we do. I think that it is weird that the hand which has been fondling testicles, is that glove clean? Is that a ball scented rubber glove? Or and it's like stroke. This is the part I have to ask. Is there a latex, like, do they let the men know, oh, like, what kind of
Oh,
glove? Can you choose the glove you're going to be, like, examined with? Men or women, if we get to that point. It's like some people have latex allergies, and this is very aggressive. This is
do you see the
very
little hand coming
aggressive.
out? Do you see the hand coming out of the hole too? I didn't see that at first,
Right,
waving.
that's what I'm pointing out.
Oh, okay.
And then look at this right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but she's even wearing like a little bluish badge with the hand coming out to cup the nuts. And I've got something to say. I have had a lot of nuts in my hands. But the point of this story is the proportion of that scrotum to the hand. That is, I don't think that's humanly possible. Do you see what I mean? Do you see the
Is the hand
size of the
really,
scrotum?
the balls are really big? Yeah, it's not.
I'm trying to,
Yeah,
that's like I'm about
some
to
big balls.
receive some sort of, like, I
So
mean,
the hand comes through the hole and fondles the balls, or what do we got? Like some medical glory hole going on here, or
it is a
what?
medical glory
Yeah.
hole, and that image, I mean, it's very pro male. I mean, one could say that drawing on her badge is full of toxic masculinity and is a sign of the patriarchy. And I don't. I mean, one could make plenty of. Fuck it. I'm done. I am
How
done.
much does that vending machine bring in every day?
I don't know. And where do you put the money? I mean, how do you pay somebody to, like, give you a testicular exam? Just go to your doctor. No one needs these fucking kiosks. This is stupid. New Zealand,
So I,
Jacinda, you
the,
guys are stupid. Okay, sorry,
the
go on.
Guardian's a legitimate news source?
Well, is it is the Guardian a legitimate news? I don't know.
I have no idea. I would,
Is this a punk? Are we being punked?
I have
The
no idea, but
Testomatic 2000.
I think it's hilarious.
Well,
And
it's
it says
I
funny.
think the
news.
Guardian's a lefty-ass publication, if you ask me.
Well,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they're
sure.
Yeah.
definitely, Callie, looking at this right here, if they're a leftist news organization and they are showing these ample nuts
Uh,
being handled, is there hope for them?
I don't think so. I don't think the vending machine for testicular cancer is gonna be a big hit.
Well, I don't know, guys. Let's take a vote. Someone set up a Jitsi vote and let's see. And yes, let's move on while that is being tabulated. to
Right?
right.
I just thought it was hilarious, so I don't know. I don't know how they can make cancer funny, but they're trying.
They are sick sons of bitches. Or either that or I am not immature. I I understand the medical stage and I can say definitively that was not a proper medical staged area. No one seemed like they were taking this shit seriously, and it seemed more like a joke and a troll than an actual legitimate. I mean, where's the HIPAA? It's like you can see the patients. Everyone can see you having a medical procedure done. No, this does not need to be normalized because it's the fucking slope, man.
It's the hijacking of our medical system by the administration that changed everything.
It's terrible. Oh, hi, Aria. Welcome back. Um, so yes, and good morning to everyone in the chats and in the Jitsi. During the pre-show, a lot of salutations are given, and then when we actually go into the recording session, the show just more or less flows. I've come to realize that some people were concerned
The
about
chaos.
greetings not being recorded. I assure you, when people come in and out and stuff like that, there's a lot of engagement, especially during the pre-show. So, no one's getting, I mean, as far as I know, do you guys think, I think everyone's getting properly treated here. I'm pretty sure. Yes. So, if we
I'm
haven't
not.
said good
I'm
morning,
not
by
worried
all
about any
means,
of it.
pardon me?
I said I'm not worried about any of it.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm sorry if I ever heard one. Oh, Aria, sweetie, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but we're going to move on over to this over here. I'm going to mute the mic and let's play this.
You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID.
And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Dr. Fauci says he has COVID again.
If you've done the right thing and gotten vaccinated, you deserve the freedom to be safe from COVID-19. And this morning, I learned I tested positive for COVID-19 as well.
With 3 doses that you prevented not just from serious illness,
Is this thing repeating again? Would you guys tell me when these things are repeating?
but from getting this virus, this Omicron variant, and therefore giving it to others.
Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is in quarantine for 7 days after testing positive to COVID.
So I'm fully vaccinated. It gives me some comfort.
Anthony Albanese has just tested.
Okay, I'm going to stop there because it's janky, and I don't understand why it's so janky. But I think we get the point here. The people who pushed it ended up getting it, and then they're still pushing it for whatever lame reason they're doing that. So, discuss. Anything to discuss on that, or are they just assholes and we should just call them assholes?
It totally reminds me of Dr. Drew, too, doing the same damn freaking thing.
Oh, and we don't have receipts, but we have a story, and that was part of the pre-show. So, if you want to hear what goes on before the show, you're going to have to get up a little bit earlier, and that can be crazy for some people. But I assure you, it's a mellow wake-up moment. It's very easy. Just slide on in. Anyway, let's see. I'm looking at this next tab for Tommy Robinson. And let me close this one because Greta really gets upset when we're not conserving resources, and we'll get to her in a hot minute. Let's see what's
Greta
going
showed
on.
up.
She showed up? What is this view and channel shit? What does that mean? Where am I? Is this Telegram? Is this what Telegram is?
I don't know, but that's a good video right there.
Well, is it going to be janky, or should I be...
No, I think it'll be good. I seen it. It was good.
But is it going to load... Let me see what happens if I view in channel. I don't know how this works. All right, fine. Here we go.
I just want to know what it is that makes a drag show family friendly. Because if you follow it to its logical conclusion, you can slap family friendly titles on anything. You can have family friendly gentlemen's clubs, family friendly strip shows, family friendly 50 Shades of Grey read alouds. Will you approve my flyer if I want to host in all the sex secrets of the Kama Sutra for kids and families if it's family friendly? That's my question. Wow. What is it about a grown man, and I honestly, sincerely, as a woman, mean this, what is it about a grown man costumed in a sparkly bra with augmented boobs busting out, a leather miniskirt barely covering his twerking ass with tuck tape on his front while spreading his fish-netted legs as he writhes on the ground, grinding his groin next to a minor, family friendly? You owe us an answer. No. And you know, you don't get to hide by just taking something down off Peachtree and calling it a day. You owe an explanation and an apology to every parent. You all got caught with your sparkly panties down. And while we have a culture that has a massive problem with child porn, with sex trafficking, you, a little school district board of adults, made the decision to feature an event to hypersexualize young children. Do you want to know that the word that defines that? It's groomer. You all played the activist pimp for an Align Surgical Center and for a 21 plus gay bar. It makes you groomers and activist pimps, and we won't have those sitting on a school board who oversees the education of our children. You all stepped out of line. You should be ashamed. There's nothing loving. There's nothing, let's unite and include, because the logical conclusion of that is you end up in diabolical evil. There are boundaries, and you don't slap family-friendly titles on stuff to cover your ass.
She is absolutely correct. Absolutely, positively correct. That shit needs to stop. Absolutely.
I like her righteous indignation too, and I like that she didn't just totally blow up, because I don't know that I can do that shit anymore.
It's absolutely, parents, stop it. Stop taking your kids to these things. I get that you have your own parenting style, but you're really fucking with your kids, and this is not going to end well if we pervert the children. You're helping the pedophiles gain access to your kids by normalizing this. It's like you're assisting rape. I don't think you understand how fucking enabling rape culture. I'm not fucking being kidding about this. You are enabling rape culture by getting your kids accustomed to adult material like this. These are not men who live like this day in and day out. If they are real drag queens, it's a job. It's just a way to make money. And no self-respecting drag queen would ever perform for kids. But freaks would, because a real drag queen doesn't entertain children. But freaks will. And if you're the kind of parent who will actually put your child in the company of a freak, then there's something, like I said yesterday, there's something fucking wrong with you. There is something so fucking wrong with you. It's like, I remember my husband and I, we went to Eggs and Drag in Minneapolis. It was an all-age event, but I said, I want to go to it first before we would ever consider bringing the kids in, because I grew up in a tavern. And so I have a background being in the presence of many adults doing adult things. I wanted to check the show before we bring the kids. Well, I got halfway through the buffet before I said, okay, honey, we're out of here. We're never bringing the kids to this venue, because it was risque. It was for adults, and there are parents sitting there with their kids at this Eggs and Drag event at the Gay 90s in Minneapolis. And I was like, this is fucking gross. This is disgusting. So, let's see. You guys in chat were talking about AOC. We actually played that yesterday. And then I noticed that Salty Cracker did do a feature on it later in the day. And I'm not going to play Salty Cracker's video because I don't know him well enough. I played a couple of his things, and I don't want to play too many of his things because I have never asked him if it's okay to resample his content. And I have a certain amount of respect. I know some people don't like Salty Cracker, and they make their opinions about this known in my comments. I see that stuff, and at the same time, I will decide what I subscribe to and what I leave behind. And as an adult, I don't need anyone giving me direction on how to lead my life. I've got that under control, believe it or not, at this point. Aside from all this shit, I know what I'm doing. So thank you for the what is it? The lesson plan, but I'm going to leave that on the table and view what I want to view and interpret it in my own way. And I believe other people should do the same. Just leave it up to your own interpretation. Let's see. So yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because you have a superior intelligence. You know how to think critically.
I do not have a superior intelligence.
You haven't. I mean, you have a very good grasp of how things work, and a lot of times we think because we don't have like I always say, I know a lot of general stuff, so I seem real smart. But when I get into the specifics, I may not seem as smart because I don't really know all the specifics of all the things that I talk about. But you're very well versed about world history. There's a lot of subjects you know a lot about, and don't ever underestimate your intelligence.
Well,
now, confusion is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, confusion is a whole nother thing. And if I don't know something, I think you guys have heard me say, if I don't know a topic, I won't talk about it, because I can do entertainment, sure. However, if I don't know my material, I can't do it, because I'm just going to look like a jackass if I end up going off the mouth. And that's why I tend to stay away from things I don't know about and let other people take over the conversation. And that's why I love having Gray Man here, 45 here, Cali Girl here, and Youngberg, and whoever is in the Jitsi. And if you have a topic that you want to speak about during one of these shows, it's an open community type thing. Come on in with whatever you want to talk about, and we can talk. All right. Yesterday
the link for the room, for those that don't know, is pinned on the top. See that little red thing where it says the DarkTranny, I think.
Yeah, you scroll down and
push it up, and the bottom link is the room, and then you just click on that. You come in, and you'll see a little scroll bar on the bottom. There's a mic. You have to turn on your mic or turn on your camera. You don't have to turn on your camera. There's all kinds of fun little things that I'm learning from this, but and I just want everybody to know, everybody's smart. Everybody has a certain amount of intelligence, and you have your own experience, which is an experiment, which is a case study. Okay, we're all a case study in life. So, and all that is valid. That's all valid details. That all fits into the big picture. That's when, we used to say we are all one.
And sorry, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was going to ramble. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and some of us are case studies that we didn't even realize we were case studies until we opened our medical files and read the notes.
Well, we don't realize, because we start out as a baby, we start out as an infant when the experiment has already started way before we were even born. And so we're at this point in the experiment, you're some years into the experiment. So, okay, so all these things that I'm talking about are social facts, and that's the theoretical situation from Emile Durkheim, the founding father of sociology. In 1865, he was looking at a way to explain postmodernism. Anyways, so this is a theoretical background, and our experiment is a methodological way that we come to conclusions about stuff, and us being a case study. Well, they've studied a lot of things about us, so. At this point, though, we have social facts, age, gender, weight, where we live, what we eat. All those are part of the experiment, and those are all data, okay? And we don't collect the data, but the data has been collected. The grocery store collects data. The church collects data. The government collects data. The computer collects data. And it gets analyzed, and the data, whoever owns the most data is the winner.
Well, unless they have shitty data, and let's absorb some data, because here comes some data from Psychodrilla. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Here we go. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's about to be had, and then it's probably dissected. I've heard good things about Psychodrilla, so let's not be disappointed. Here we go.
What we're dealing with here is a total lack of respect for the law.
Welcome to Wake Up Canada News. I'm Brad Wilder. All this doom and gloom can start to wear on a person. So much so that, bombardment of negativity over the last 2 years is almost about all you can take. It's affected us all in one way or another, which is exactly what this psychological operation is supposed to do. While we now know that we were right all along and to question the motives of our government, our doctors, even our own family members, once again it's now common knowledge that these efforts to coerce us, intimidate us, and even bully us only made us stronger. While I'm sure we all had some tough days along the way, I now know it was worth it. While people who have been intolerant of the unvaccinated, unmasked, and unrelenting, I'd like to think, we would all like to know now how they feel. I truly believe the ones waking are all starting to feel something like this next article written by Anonymous. Not the Anonymous you're thinking. This is a word from the vaccinated out loud. If COVID was a battlefield, it would still be warm with the bodies of the unvaccinated. Thankfully, the mandates are letting up and both sides of the war stumble back to the new normal. The unvaccinated are the heroes of the last 2 years as they allowed us all to have a control group in the great experiment, as well as highlight the shortcoming of the COVID vaccines. The unvaccinated carry many battle scars as injuries, as they are the people we tried to mentally break, yet no one wants to talk about what we did to them and what they forced the science to unveil. We knew that the waning immunity of the fully vaccinated had the same risk profile as others within society as the minority of the unvaccinated. yet we marked them for special persecution. You see, we said they had not done the right thing for the greater good by handing their bodies and medical autonomy over to the state. Now, many of the so-called health experts and political leaders in Australia admitted the goal was to make life almost unlivable for the unvaccinated, which was multiplied many times by the collective mob, with the fight taken into workplaces, friendships, and even family gatherings. Today, the hard truth is none of it was justified, as we took a quick slide from the righteousness to absolute cruelty. We might lay the blame on our leaders and health experts for the push, but each individual within society must be held accountable for stepping into the well-laid trap. We did this despite knowing full well that principled opposition is priceless when it comes to what goes inside our bodies, and we let ourselves be tricked into believing that going into another ineffective lockdown would be the fault of the unvaccinated, and not the fault of the toxic policy of ineffective vaccines. We took pleasure in scapegoating the unvaccinated because after months of engineered lockdowns by political leaders blinded by power, having someone to blame and to burn at the stake felt really, really good. We believed we had logic, love, and truth on our side, so it was easy to wish death upon the unvaccinated. Those of us who ridiculed and mocked the non-compliant did it because, well, we were embarrassed by their courage and principles and didn't think the unvaccinated would make it through unbroken, and we turned the holdouts into punching bags. Bonnie Henry, Theresa Tam, Lori Wanamaker, Anthony Fauci, Justin Trudeau, and the other cast of hundreds in prominent roles need to be held accountable for vilifying the unvaccinated in public and fueling angry social media mobs. The mobs, the mask Nazis, and the vaccine disciples have been embarrassed by betting against the unvaccinated because mandates had only had the power we gave them. It was not compliance that ended domination by big pharma companies, Bill Gates and his many organizations, and the World Economic Forum. It was thanks to the people we tried to embarrass, ridicule, mock, and tear down. We should all try to find some inner gratitude for the unvaccinated, as we took the bait by hating them because of their perseverance, and their courage brought us the time to see we were wrong. Remember, you're the voice. I'm Brad Wilder. This is Wake Up Canada News. Thanks for watching.
What we're dealing with here is a total lack of respect for law.
Thank
what
you.
we're dealing with here is a...
Shiza. Thank you, Psychodrilla. And, yes. It is a matter of forgiveness, is it not? It is a perplexing situation we have found ourselves in, where we have been targeted, ostracized, punished for not wanting to submit to a medical experiment, which I'm sure YouTube is going to give me a hard strike for including this, but fuck them. Psychodrilla, absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for dropping that link. I hope it was okay that it's going to be in the recorded session of this stream. I am wondering, what are the thoughts on divine forgiveness? I believe it is required of a person with faith to forgive the individuals who were so fucking shitty to all of us involved. I can do this. I can forgive. I can forgive them. I also have a bit of a human requirement. I want a fucking apology. I want I want to understand why I was not jabbed and my husband was. And I want to know what the fuck happens every time that he gets jabbed and then we have sexy time. I want to know why I get sick and why after every jab he's gotten, he's had 4 of them. I want to know why 3 to 4 days later, after he's received his jab, I have been progressively getting more and more ill. I recover, and I want to know why my husband is showing signs of decline. I want to know why he isn't doing his workouts as often as he used to, and why he's so tired. I want answers. I want fucking answers, because I've seen this affect other people in my life, and I've heard stories of people who are affected by very strange coincidences in relation to getting the poke. So I'd like some answers, and I know I'm not alone. I am willing to forgive with answers, and I don't know if that is divine forgiveness. It's something I wrestle with. I'm sure I'm not alone. How does one forgive in this case? Any thoughts?
I have no thoughts, unfortunately.
Is it a bit of a heavy topic on a Friday?
Well, it's not that it's a heavy topic because we all have our different um, social facts that have contributed to where we're at in this situation. And for me, I was isolated. Both groups were isolated. The group that did and the group that didn't. There was an isolation that happened to both groups. So that's, I don't know if that's an independent variable. I think that's an independent. No, that's the dependent variable. We're all isolated. Isolation, I was taught, is a form of abuse. So we've all been abused. Both sides were abused.
That's true.
Now the dependent variable is, did you get a vax or did you not get a vax? That would be a dependent. No, that's a dependent variable. I don't know. There's 2 variables when you're doing research. There's all these. You can have more than one independent variable. You can have more than one dependent variable. So you can have as many of those as you want, but they're on an axis. One's on the y-axis, one's on the x-axis.
Yeah, and then there's the
And you look,
variables that are
yeah,
very specific to each individual. Like, for instance,
yeah,
my
and
husband.
so
Pardon?
go ahead. No, so going back to social facts, I'm not somebody that had anybody that I knew that had COVID. I don't know anybody that died from COVID, but I know people who died during COVID from drug addiction. So those are just some of the social facts. I'm just trying to get people to understand what social facts are. So we all have different experiences, and that's going to affect our biopsychophysiology. And the biopsychophysiology is what's happening on the inside and what's happening on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how we learn, from the inside and the outside. We're not just, yeah. So, because we're in human bodies, we're spiritual beings in human bodies. So, my feelings are going to be way different than someone like you who's had to have their husband be vaccinated and then worry about the effects. The things that you're worrying about are so, I can't even imagine if I had a partner and they had taken the vaccines, if I'd even want to. I am afraid to hug my friends, okay? That's another form of isolation and abuse that I'm facing as a non-jab person. So, but those are so minimal. I mean, I'm not to minimize anybody's pain and suffering, because I'm suffering, but I can't relate to someone that feels that their grandmother died from COVID, or someone that, like Wanda's daughter, that had to witness her mother behind a plexiglass looking insane and dying. No.
We lost Wanda last year. I mean, you remember Wanda from Acts
2 years
2?
ago. It's been
Was
2
it 2
years.
years ago?
Yes. Yes. It was the
That was a
first year.
terrible way to lose Wanda.
Terrible. And she was such a spiritual being, and I just see I know she's happy. I already know she's happy. So I just, the old cliche is they're in a better place. I don't know. That's not. I don't want to minimize anybody's suffering because there's people today that are going to die from having taken the vaccine.
There are going to be, it's already starting to happen. I want to address something. Yes, feisty, I get it. Ugh, I cringe every time I say it. It's not my term. That's my husband's term for it. I really ought to just use, I really just ought to use marital activities or intimacy. I get that. And so I'll hear you out like later on that phrase.
Feisty must watch the 90-day pillow talk or something because I feel like that's where the sexy time came from, and it was just like so cringeworthy.
I cringe too. I'm with you. I use the term because it's the term he gave it, and it's like that's where that comes from. It's not mine. No, trust me, sweetie. I did not come up with that phrase. That's his word. Anyway, I can definitely stop using it. In fact, thank you so much for pointing that out. But yes, I will definitely hear about this like later, and I welcome it. Shall we move on to Zelensky on a Friday? I wanted this to be a meme fun Friday, but instead it's turned into watching sadness and stuff, trying to give a little bit of comedy with it as well. So let's see where this goes. You ready? Let's do it.
Ready.
Were we done with the other topic, by the way? I feel like my head might be swimming a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're done.
All right, let's
too
do
much
this.
too much social science in the morning.
Just in the end, I would just say forgiveness based on individuals. I mean, some people, they were victimized as much as anyone else. It's like they were in very precarious situations. The majority of people were in very precarious situations. The people who I'm struggling with are the people who make these fucking rules. Those are the people I'm having a problem forgiving. Anyway, let's do this.
For financial support of Ukraine, similar to what was created in Ramstein for defense support. Ms. Kristalina Georgieva and I discussed the importance of coordinating donors. It would.
Okay, I don't even want to hear him anymore because he's like coming with his hand out. It's like he wants more. He's like, give me more money, give me more money. It's like, dude, what do we call these people who like are constantly? He's like a mooch. Is he mooching? It's like he's constantly mooching. It's like, have you no shame? You're a president. I mean, I thought it was pretty bad how they're depicting Biden as being a mooch and like looking to finagle deals and stuff like that. I mean, that's embarrassing enough. I mean, could you imagine living in the Ukraine and this is your president?
That's the president in a t-shirt?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Have you never seen this guy? He does drag too. Oh
my
gosh.
No. He's the president of Ukraine?
President of Ukraine, apparently, yes, according to the news and stuff. And I don't know. I want to save this Mr. Smith effect because I've never seen this particular image, and I want to review it for later. So I know Pastor Chatelet speaks of the Agent Smith effect, and I don't know why that was posted in there, but I want to like look at that. And when I review the video, I'll have more context, but I definitely want to save that. Yeah, he's a leech, this dude. I mean, we're here. Let's see if we can find this.
Well, he looks like the homeless dudes I know.
Well, he's in makeup. That's just it too. It's like he's always camera ready. It's really weird. And he's always asking for money, and we're told that we keep sending him money. However, we're not the only nation apparently sending this dude money. It's like, how much money do you need? I mean, let's reflect on the orgy. The Ukrainians, what was it, like a 15,000 person? There you go. Over there in the chat. Thank you, Can Killer. There you go. That's Zelensky doing his little cross-dressing androgynous kink and shit right there. Ugh. Now, that blasted my memory out of my head. What the fuck was I thinking about? Callie, do you know where I was going with this? Oh, so many different nations contributing to the Ukraine. It's like, how much money do you need? It's highly suspicious. It's highly suspicious, and it's been suspicious for a long time. And when was this? October 13th. Which day are we on? We're on the 14th, and this dude wants more money? Fuck you. You've had enough. It's time for you to start paying people back. And shit, you sponge. Just a leech. Ugh. I wanted to play you, but I don't know if I can because I have to get to Greta because we're running low on time. Because we have 45-1 Actual's Big Dick Energy Brigade radio show coming up after this show. He has, yes, he survived. He survived whatever the fuck attacked him. He got over it because of the Big Dick Energy. And there we go. It's healed. It's a healing thing. We need Big Dick Energy kiosks, not these mysterious hand ball grabbing people. It's just, ugh. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what Greta was up to, because I think, is this the one I'm supposed to give a hot take on?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, let's talk
we were asking, where's
energy
Greta?
again, and who better to tell us?
Hold on, I'm trying to pause this. What were we asking?
Well, you were asking the other day, where's Greta and where's Gore on the methane leak?
Oh, on the Nord Stream pipeline. Yes, I have been.
Yeah.
And there is that thing. There is that thing of this fetal alcohol syndrome. And I'm pretty sure self-diagnosing, I'm either part possum or I have fetal alcohol syndrome. But, yes, we have 3 minutes till the twinkle. How long is this thing? It's just, okay, here we go.
Okay, let's talk climate and energy again, and who better to tell us how crazy we all are than this climate change campaigner?
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
How dare we want an economy that keeps people alive, educates them, gives us everything we've got. That's Greta Thunberg, of course, from a few years ago. She's still talking crazy stuff about climate catastrophe and revolutionary changes to how the world works, but she's actually mellowing a little with age. Now 19 years old and in her final year at school, Greta has given an interview to German television and admitted being a little embarrassed about her early angry antics at the United Nations.
I try not to be too judgmental because I was only, 15, 16? And I could have done many things differently, but there's no point in being like, sitting there and regretting things.
Yeah, in many ways, as much as we can decipher the pseudo-political, pseudo-scientific and pseudo-economic arguments that Thunberg makes, she seems to have become more overtly political and less emotional over climate issues. And when it comes to hard choices in Europe's energy crisis, she has at least admitted that keeping nuclear power stations running longer rather than burning more coal might be the way forward.
If we have them already running, I feel that it's a mistake to close them down in order to focus on coal.
Okay, but then close them down as soon as possible, or what?
It depends. We don't know what will happen after this.
Well, I'll tell you what will happen after this. You will still need electricity. In fact, you'll need even more of it. And you'll need it to be affordable and reliable. And you won't want it to produce greenhouse gas emissions. So nuclear is your only option because renewables simply can't do the job anywhere except a few unique places with the right geography for unlimited hydroelectricity. So while Greta Thunberg and other activists stage school strikes and the like, and New Zealand and other countries, including ours, pretend that we're going to be able to stop our cows from belching at either end by imposing methane taxes that will turn agriculture on its head, the real solution when it comes to reducing emissions is to produce reliable, emissions-free power, and there is only one source for that: nuclear.
Okay, my hot take is this.
And finally,
that I get what this dude was saying, and I think it's a little myopic because it's not the only power source is nuclear, because one has to consider you still have to build the nuclear power plant and it has to be maintained. So it's still going to have an effect on the environment, because you can't just wish upon a star and get a nuclear power plant. Just like the green energy, it's a combination of nuclear, wind, hydroelectric, these renewables, solar. They're all going to have a pollution index attached to them. Nuclear is not the only way. And why they were interviewing Greta, I have no idea. Other than she's been an activist, it's like Greta is still young. She's got like time to figure things out. I mean, like, we are looking at a person who was used as a child to promote an ideology and is currently only 19. She's not going to have all the answers. So going to Greta and interviewing Greta is kind of a what's the point, other than she's a recognizable face who's been shoved at all of us for years now. It's like Greta's just a child. And it's kind of fucked up that they used her energy to propel this message, and now this dude is sitting there saying nuclear is the only way. It's like, no, it's not the only way. It's one of the ways. We can have blended types of energy. Let's transition to something that's clean and safe. But this drama which goes along with it of ultimatums and like, this is the only way. It's like, no. We're not there yet. We don't have enough data. And to make some sort of false claim saying that nuclear energy will not have, what was he saying exactly? Did anyone catch? What was his like positive talking point about nuclear energy being the only thing?
I have no idea.
Well, he was missing out on the very idea that you have to construct these things. They need to be maintained. You have to still go into the earth and get the materials. Those materials have to be enriched. That's a completely different set of like structures which need to be built in order to take raw uranium or raw thorium or raw plutonium or half-lifed whatever. There's a whole bunch of stuff which goes into creating nuclear energy, which I think is being oversimplified by this man, and it requires a more in-depth form of representation, because it's not that fucking simple. He oversimplified it. And at the same time,
it takes somebody that knows the specifics about all the things you were just talking about. So, and that's the problem with what media does, is they don't do journalism. They're not experts. They're just regurgitating some information, and that's exactly what Greta did initially when she wanted to say, oh, she's all 15, 16, and he's all 16. She wanted it to seem like she was younger because she's embarrassed, but she's not. But it was for her to be able to save face so they can bring her out later, and when she's more educated on stuff, and say, so she can come out and not look like she's having a psychological breakdown while she's saying something.
That would be terrible. No, who would want that for her? I mean, who would want anything negative? I mean, it wasn't her fucking fault. It's like she was totally victimized.
Well, she's being groomed. She's being groomed for positions in the future.
Ugh.
Name recognition, and she's one of the chosens for that media production in that area of expertise of global. Yeah. So hopefully maybe she actually learns how to do some research, and she researches shit and she changes her stance. Wouldn't that be great?
She's being used just like I was used in the club scene. When you start to reach the age of 30, that's when you start getting used to pull the other 18-year-olds into the fold. And I get it, yes. They're using a child to attract other children. It's
cycle of abuse.
It's just abuse. Yes, these are not topics for kids. These are adult topics, and blending the minds of the innocent in with this is just so fucking predatory. Now, let's take a look at this classic. Y'all know this classic image?
World War, is it 1 or 2? 2.
I think it's 1. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's
Might
1,
be,
2. I don't know.
It might be 2. I don't know. I
don't remember.
See,
But I remember
that's what I'm
the
saying.
image.
It's like earlier you guys were giving me accolades on my intelligence. I'm not that fucking smart.
No, but that's not. That doesn't. That's facts about things that are. I mean, there's memory too. Memory is different than intelligence.
It's World War II. So now,
Okay.
let us remember that this is an image from World War II. Now, let's go up to what's happening in 2023 or 2022. This is the new culture. So I don't have a problem with it if you guys want to, like, claim that this is your culture. It's like, okay, well, here's my Euro. This is my Euro culture. This is from my culture, and this is your culture. Okay, I respect your culture. Have at it. I think it's kind of gay.
I don't think anybody's ever kissed me like that. I don't know.
Unless I was like drunk or something, I've never been. Oh, wait, okay, let me take that back. When I used to do gymnastics and when I would do like some mild aerial performances, I would bend like that, but no one was ever giving me a kiss. My husband hasn't even kissed me like that. Oh, look, we've got pearls.
I
Got the
don't
crucifix.
I don't like a man supporting me while I'm trying to. I mean, not well, yeah, not kissing at least. I wanted to be sitting somewhere and being able to make out and make out. Not now, but I don't do that anymore.
Well, okay. Here we go. We've got only 3 minutes left, and 45 is coming up with his show.
Yay, 45.
I know, right? So
Well, goodbye, everybody. Love you. Have a great weekend. God is love. I'll be listening.
Thank you. And you as well, Callie. You have yourself a blessed weekend. Maybe we'll see each other over the weekend, but I typically don't, so I'll see you on Monday. I would like to bring up DJ Brandrak, who will be live in 5 hours. And K Nutter is live in 11 hours. And King of Casual looks like he'll be having another Beach Dub Revolution live in one day. Last night, some guy from Maine, I was expecting a Thursday drum and bass mix, but it never happened apparently when I went to his site. So let's head on over to, yes, he's quite soon he'll be going live. Let's go on over to 45.1 Actual's Big Dick Energy Brigade radio show and get that in there. Right there. So, with that, I think that is the end of the show. I'll be closing the Jitsi now, you guys. God bless. And to everyone else, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you Monday. God bless.